All right, today we're tackling something, well, something huge. A genuinely radical idea about completely rebuilding our economic operating system from the ground up. The whole argument comes from this complex meta-theory that says our entire idea of money is what's holding civilization back. So, yeah, let's get into it. So let's just start with the central question, right? What if money, the very tool we use to organize pretty much everything, is just fundamentally broken for the kind of future we're trying to build? What if it's not just a little outdated, but is actually becoming harmful? Okay, so on one side, you've got technology just rocketing us towards this post-scarcity future. An era of incredible abundance thanks to things like AI, fusion power, and atomic manufacturing. But then on the other side, our economic system is still stuck way in the past. It's all based on scarcity, competition, and consumption. The source material calls this giant mismatch a civilizational meta-crisis. And, they argue it's a problem we absolutely have to solve.
To really understand the solution they're proposing, we first got to get a clear diagnosis of the problem. And the core issue, according to this theory, is that our economy was designed for a world that is, well, it's rapidly disappearing.
So, here's the crucial point, the real paradox of it all. The very system we designed to allocate our resources is now the thing that's trapping us. It actually incentivizes short-term thinking, waste, and endless competition, right at the moment in history when we desperately need long-term vision, sustainability, and collaboration to, survive and thrive. It's a fundamental contradiction.
So how on earth did we get here? To see that, we've got to take a quick look at the history of money itself. The theory lays out these four major leaps that have, step by step, disconnected our idea of value from actual value.
Okay, so leap one, way back when, we went from specific IOUs, think clay tablets, to using standardized precious metals. Then leap two, we jumped from physical metal to national fiat money, which is only backed by trust in a government. A huge jump. Leap 3 takes us to the modern era of global electronic money, where value is just a story told on financial market screens. And the fourth leap, that's cryptocurrency, which, the authors argue, kind of ironically, creates artificial scarcity in a digital world. With every single step, money got further and further away from real-world creation.
So, if the old operating system is broken, what's the alternative? Well, this is where the paper proposes its new one, Value Consensus Currency, or VCC. And we need to be really clear here. This isn't just another crypto. It's meant to be a complete paradigm shift.
VCC is designed to do the one thing our current money completely fails at, to actually measure and reward the activities that are critical for our long-term survival as a civilization. The key concept here is something the theory calls negative entropy. But what on earth does that actually mean? Okay, let's really dive into this, because this idea of negative entropy is the philosophical heart of the entire VCC concept. It's all about finding a totally new anchor for what we consider to be valuable. So the universe naturally trends toward chaos and decay, right? That's entropy. So negative entropy is just the opposite. It's any act that creates order, knowledge, beauty, or meaning. It's basically the stuff of civilization itself, pushing back against that cosmic tide of disorder.
So what does this look like in the real world? A perfect example is scientific discovery. You're taking all this chaotic data and transforming it into an ordered, predictive theory. That's a profound act of creating negative entropy.
And the idea is really broad. Artistic creation is another one. Taking raw materials, raw thoughts, and turning them into something that communicates beauty and meaning. That's another powerful form of negative entropy.
And this example really highlights the practical survival side of things. Taking a degraded ecosystem and restoring its complexity and its health, that is a vital, totally tangible act of creating negative entropy that directly supports our future as a civilization.
So, what would a world that's actually running on VCC look like? This is where the theory gets truly revolutionary. It outlines this vision for a civilization that operates on a completely different set of values.
The ultimate goal here is to basically upgrade humanity's core motivation. It's about moving us from a system that forces everyone into a competitive, survival-driven mode to one that actually frees us to pursue a collaborative, meaning-creating existence. And the path to get there is, well, it's radical. The theory proposes what it calls a four-dimensional abolition. We're talking about getting rid of interest rates, getting rid of exchange rates between currencies, getting rid of mandatory tax systems, and all of that leads to the ultimate goal, the guided, eventual dissolution of currency itself, replaced by a system that directly measures and recognizes our contributions.
This quote from the source really just captures the massive scale of the ambition here. This isn't just about tweaking the economy. It's about fundamentally changing how we relate to each other and to our planet, moving from a world of competition to one of collaboration.
And that brings us to the final, and maybe most important question that this whole theory leaves us with. If our world rewarded the creation of knowledge, of beauty, of order, instead of just the accumulation of wealth, what would you dedicate your life to? What would your contribution be?